What's up everyone? Welcome to Tech Savvy Buyer. So today I've got an awesome video that I wanted to share with you guys. And I'll give you the backstory as to why I decided to make this video and how I ventured down the rabbit hole and figured out all this stuff and how to do it and all that stuff. But basically, as the title implies, I've basically found a really cool modification for your PS4 games that allow you to basically use an old school version, or a newer version, shall I say, of Game Shark. So if those of you guys back in the day that played PS1 and PS2, if you guys remember Game Shark, it used to be this disc that had a whole bunch of cheats loaded on it. You'd put it into your system, and then you'd select the game that you want to play, activate the cheats, yada yada yada, and then put your game in, and boom, you'd be able to put cheats into your game. So we all know that for PS4 and for Xbox and stuff and some of the newer consoles, there's not really a lot of options to cheat or add cheats to the games. Now I know this isn't really a hack or mod, and so I'm not trying to use a play on words there, but it's basically something new, cool, and it hasn't been around super long, and I haven't really seen a lot of other YouTubers talking about this, so I wanted to just bring this to you guys' attention. So it's going to be a little bit of a detailed video because I'm going to walk through what the app is, how to use it, and then we'll do a demo on one of the games that I've tested this on, as well as show you some other games that it's compatible with on the PlayStation 4. I'm going to be using my PS4 Pro. We'll have a session on the computer to show you all the walkthrough and all the steps, and basically all you're going to need for this to work is a USB and the license to the software that's required for this. Now I'll walk through the options and what you can do. This isn't a free modification by any means. It is paid for, but honestly, if you guys are into playing single player games and you like to just have fun with stuff, it works. So before I jump into all of that, I have a couple of things. I want to go through a backstory real quick as to why I got into this, and then we'll cut a word from today's sponsor. So real quick, the backstory was back in 2018 when God of War came out, I spent hours upon hours playing that game. I beat it, finished it all completely, went through and killed all of the Valkyries, got that Infinity, gauntlet, or like the Avengers style one. I did all this stuff, I saved the game, and I wanted to start a new game. Now this was before the New Game Plus mode was released as an update for God of War. I'd spent all this time with the game. I accidentally went ahead and started a new game, and I lost all of my data. And needless to say, guys, I was super pissed, frustrated, and I through the game, pretty much didn't play it for a whole 2 years, I guess. And basically now, I wanted to revisit God of War again just because I had some more time to kill. And I figured, let me go ahead and pick up where I left off. And then it dawned on me like, hey, I lost all that data. So I started going on the internet and seeing, is there any way that I can get all my save information back? Is there a way that, had I uploaded it to the cloud, could I re-download it or something? And I came across this app that basically lets you cheat. In other words, I hate to use the word cheat, but basically it lets you modify existing saves on your PS4 so that you can add like items, you can update your stats, you can do all kinds of cool stuff. And I've tested this with a few games, but today the game that we're going to be focusing on is my Achilles heel, God of War. And the reason I call it because this game frustrated the crap out of me after what happened through to it. So now I'm determined to get back all my information, get back all my progress, and get all the trophies that I was aiming at with this game. So without further ado, before we jump into that, let's get a word from today's sponsor, and then I will catch you guys on my computer and walk you through the steps from there, and then we'll check out some gameplay and all that good jazz. And make sure you guys hit that subscribe button if you like this content, and hit that thumbs up button while you guys are here. Always helps. So let's go ahead and dive into it. Today's video is sponsored by GVGMall.com. GVG Mall carries a wide variety of game currencies and gift cards that you could use to take your gaming to the next level. If you're looking for a fresh copy of Windows or Microsoft Office, then you can certainly find those on GVGMall.com as well. They are priced very competitively and offer legit copies of Microsoft software. You can pick up a copy of Windows 10 Pro for under 15 bucks. Visit GVGMall.com for more information and use code TSB to save during checkout. Okay guys, let's jump right into this. So I'm going to take you guys to this website, and I want you guys to basically check this out. So this is the Save Wizard. This is basically the thing that I was talking about. Now you may have heard of it, kind of looks sketchy. Honestly, the website could have been much better designed in my opinion. And Save Wizard, if you guys are watching this, here's some feedback for you guys. Great product, shoddy website. So hopefully you guys can go and change this up and make it look a little bit more visually appealing. But anyways, sorry to digress there. But essentially what this does is it lets you copy your saves from your PlayStation onto your PC. And using this application, Save Wizard, you're able to manipulate that save data, add whatever stuff you want into it, like an a la carte menu, and then just plug it right back into your PlayStation and upload it to your system, like copy it onto your system. Once you do that, you're actually able to access the game with all those different features. So for example, they have to date, over 992 different games that they have compatible with it, with a total of over 47,000 cheats. Now, a lot of those cheats are being counted as like, get your HP up, get your stamina up, get whatever up, you know what I mean? So basically that's why that number is insanely high. So in today's example, we're going to look at God of War specifically. And you can see it's like one of the top games that a lot of people have been playing for a while. They have RDR2 as well, Monster Hunter, Resident Evil 2, but you can look at God of War here. And for example, you'll get to see like what you can do. So here's all the cheats that they have for God of War. You can adjust your rune stats. Okay, you can change the time of the cooldowns, you can set your defense, your luck, you can change your max HP, or sorry, max XP, the amount of silver you have, and you can even hold like all of the different items that you get in the game throughout the campaign, you know, different things like, let's say, a dragon tier, for example, here, or like some of the materials that you need when you go to get your stuff done by the blacksmith, right? Or you go to the dwarves and whatnot and do all that stuff. So there's a lot of things that you can do with it, basically. There's different saves that you can do and manipulate with this. So we're going to do this as an example, but first I'm going to show you guys what exactly you need. So you obviously have to buy this application. Now there's two modes of getting it. I would suggest don't even look at the cheap option, well, allegedly cheap here, at $49.99, and just go with paying another $10 on top and getting the one for $60. And the reason I say that is because, one, you get two profiles to create. So the way they work this and prevent you from like, you know, one person just buying this app and sharing it with anyone, each save that you use is tied to your PSN account. Right? So like when you have your PlayStation set up, your PSN account is tied to everything that's on that system. So all of your saves are naturally tied to that. So when you load your save and you try and do your manipulation of it, it's going to tie that profile to it. So when you pay the extra $10, you essentially have two PSN accounts that you can use with it. So you can, you know, transfer between whatever you want. That's the same in this case. You can transfer your saves between accounts, but you can only tie it to one profile. So if for a lack of clarity, I'll just try and really dumb this out. If you have one PSN ID and only one PSN ID, maybe this would make sense for you. But if you plan to use this with more than one PSN ID, then the best one to go with is two. Now, another cool thing to know is that you can change the PSN ID that's tied with Save Wizard once every 30 days. That's it. So once you change it, you got to wait 30 days before you can reset it. And again, that's to prevent people from pirating the software and sharing it with their friends and family and whatnot. But anyways, those are the main differences there. Now, they have advanced mode, they have user-entered cheats. I haven't really messed around with this too much to tell you exactly what it is, but the main thing I'd focus on is that you get an extra profile. But anyways, this is the application, okay, so or the site that you can get the application for. I'm going to go ahead and boot up the application so you get a sense of what it looks like. And this is it. It's called Save Wizard for PS4 Max. So we're going to go ahead and open this up. Now you can see the first thing they're telling us is The Last of Us Part 2 cheats are already available. That's pretty cool considering the game is not even 10 days old at this point. So they're up to date with, you know, constant different things that are coming out, new games, and they're always adding that to their library. So they're downloading a different games list. Now from here, what we're going to do is I'm going to show you guys on the PlayStation what you need. So first thing first, you need a USB drive, okay? Doesn't matter how big it is, I would recommend at least 16 gigs just because some of these save files can be large, and if you're going to do multiple games, it probably would be a good idea to do that. So upon booting this up, you can see it says no PS4 saves were found on this USB drive, and I don't know why it's selecting that drive. That's also because I have another memory card in there, but I'm going to go ahead and swap that out, plug in my USB disk. But before we do that, let's go over to the PlayStation and I'll show you guys what the step is from there. All right, so I'm on my PlayStation now. I've gone ahead and plugged in my USB drive into the PS4 Pro. So real simple, what you're going to do is you're going to head over to your settings. You're going to go all the way down to Application Save Data Management. Okay, you're going to look at the save data in your system storage, and you're going to select Copy to USB Storage Device. So I'm going to copy it to the first one. I have no idea why it's selecting or seeing two partitions there, but whatever. We'll go with the bigger one. Give it its time. Okay, so here's a list of all the games that I currently have saved on my PlayStation. So all the one I'm going to select here is God of War. I'm going to go ahead and hit select on that and hit copy. And since I already have that on this USB drive, I'm still going to go ahead and hit apply to all and go ahead and do the full copy of it. So now this may take a few moments, just skip through this part. Okay, once it's done, we're going to back out. Now my USB is ready to basically use with the system. Now, before we continue the steps, I'm going to boot up God of War so you guys can see what my current stats are. All right, so we're in the game, and let's just hit our stats here and check what we have. So my HP, you guys can see, is 102 out of 102. You know, I'm level 2 at this point. I haven't really done much. Armor wise, I don't have, you know, much of anything. Let's say if I want to try and upgrade something, I don't have any, you know, points to do anything with them basically at this point. Oops. So I've got here, resources wise, I've got 1 frozen flame and 1 or no solids, whatever that steel is. I can't pronounce that. Svartalfheim steel. Sorry for butchering that, guys, but here it is. And I've got 10 soft of them. So now another thing that you got to keep in mind is you can only modify these if you have the resources. So for example, if I don't have the solid one, I can't generate that out of nowhere. You have to have at least 1 of them. But I guess let's look at the cool thing that we have on top. One of the easiest things to look at. So my XP is 3871 right now. This is what my current save file is on the USB drive that I saved. So now we're going to back out of the game. We're going to go ahead and exit it. And let's go back to, you know, copying over that save file to our computer and editing it in SaveMax. And then we'll do the reverse procedure and I'll show you guys how it works. Okay, so I plugged in the USB drive, which had my PS4 save file, and you can see there's a save data file here, folder with all the different games I have. Let's go and minimize that. Let's open up PS4 SaveMax. And you can see it's already telling me what are the different games that I have on that USB drive. See, it's picking up that drive. Here are the saves that I have on it. Now, I know in this example, I only showed you guys God of War, but I had some other games on my other system that I went ahead and did this for before making this video. But anyway, so we're going to click God of War, and you can see that's this different stuff that I have here. Okay, you double click that folder that you have there, and it tells you that for this we have 845 different cheats. You can see that I have a profile / PSN ID. I just saved it with the name TSB1. That's not my actual PSN ID, but once you go ahead and say, you know, open up a save file, you have to assign it, and I'll show you guys how to do it. You have to assign it a profile. So you can see here, my PSN ID was grabbed from that save, and I just gave it a name, TSB1. That's all you have to do. You have to make sure you do that so you can distinguish between different ones. Otherwise, you're going to see that and it's going to not make much sense. Anyways, back to this. So God of War, we're going to double click here. Going to open up this file. And now we're going to go ahead and modify whatever we have. Now that's the main save file that you guys see there. And within that main save, we have different save options I have. So, you know, I had save 2, save 3, save 4. I guess these are all different save files that are inside that folder. You know, anytime you save the game, looks like I may have quite a bunch of them in there. So now RuneStat says that all your saves will be affected by this cheat, so use with care. So if I look at my runes, I'm not going to mess with any of these things at this point. I'm just going to do, you know, basic save. So let's set up max HP, max hack silver, and let's look at some of the resources that we can get here. So we saw we had a frozen flame. Let's go ahead and add that in there as well. And I think we'll stick with that for now, just to make a point of how this works. So yeah, so let's just stick with frozen flame, max HP or XP, and max hack silver. Let's go ahead and click apply. It gives you a warning that's about to be overwritten. Once it's done, it cannot be undone. Go ahead and proceed, hit yes. So it also makes a backup, which is nice in case, you know, you screw something up, you have a folder and it tells you in the settings where you have that folder where it made the backup of. You can always copy it back to your USB drive from there if you have any issue. So now it's going to go ahead and upload the save. Once this is done, we'll go back to the PlayStation and I'll show you guys how it works. All right, finally it is complete. Now we're just going to go ahead and take that USB drive, put it into our PlayStation, and we'll go back to the next step and I'll show you guys exactly how it works. Okay, so I've plugged this back into my PlayStation. We're going to head back over to settings again. We're going to scroll back down to application save data management. We're going to go into the save data that's on the USB storage device, and we're going to copy to system storage. Select the same partition that we did in the first place. And in this case, we're going to select God of War because that's the one we modified. So double check that. Go ahead and hit copy. Now it's going to say it's going to overwrite the one that's already existing in there. We're going to go ahead and hit OK. All right, now that that's done, let's go ahead and boot up the game and see if it worked. All right, we're back at the same exact spot where you guys saw last time. There's Freya coming again. Let's go ahead and hit start. And look at my XP and look at my hack silver. Look how much I have. So as you guys can see, there's a ton of stuff in there. Now, see how easy I can upgrade my skills and whatnot. If I want to, I can just scroll down to something that says I need 500 hack silver to do this, you know, and hack silver is something you collect throughout the game. So boom, just go ahead and start unlocking everything early on so I can get all the skills I want early on in the game, make the gameplay a lot easier for me since, you know, I've already beat this game. But in a nutshell, that's pretty much it. So this is just a little taste of what you can do with it. And as you guys can see, like, there's a lot of stuff that you can do with it. You can equip different things and adjust your runics. You can adjust the different items that you have in your inventory. So like if I look at my resource, look, I have 5 frozen flames now, which means that I can upgrade Kratos to level 5 at any point. And remember, when we first started this, I only had level 1. So now I just got to get to the dwarves and go ahead and do all that stuff that I wanted to do. So that's pretty much the gist of it, guys. Now, this was God of War. Again, you can do this with Last of Us 2. I didn't choose to do this in this example because I want to play through that game without having to use all this stuff right now. But if you choose to do that, you can go ahead and do it as well. So really simple, really straightforward, awesome thing that you can play around with. Definitely gives a hint of what Game Shark used to do back in the old school days. Pretty cool tool and very useful to use for your games that, you know, you may are in a similar situation as myself. You've probably already beaten the game, just want to get past it. But anyways, not to chat too much, that is pretty much how this works. So what did I tell you guys? This thing is super awesome. It's not that hard to do. As you guys saw, it just takes a few minutes, a few quick steps, and they've got a huge library of different games. They even added The Last of Us Part 2 in there. You know, they have over 800 to 900 different games that you can add. So chances are the games that you probably have and probably want to use this with, mostly those single player campaign games, it's on there. Now, a couple of things, like you can't use this with online games. Like they're determined to not let you use this for multiplayer, not let you use this for any kind of online play, not use it to cheat to get trophies and stuff like that. You're basically just trying to have fun with the game. Especially, I'd say use this at your own discretion, more than likely if you've already beaten the game. Like for me, I wasn't looking for a way to skip past the entire story and just boost through the game of God of War. I had already beaten it and I just lost my progress. So I wanted to go and find a way to quickly accelerate me back to that because I didn't want to go through the grind all over again of, you know, killing all the Valkyries and doing all that, even though I probably will still have to, but you get my point, basically. So I think it's a pretty cool thing, and I don't know a lot of people that know about this. Now, you guys can say it's a bit pricey, but realistically, it's the cost of a game. And nowadays, like with all the different titles that are coming out, yes, it's an opportunity cost for you to choose whether to buy a new game or whether to get this software and enjoy some of the existing games you have. I'll leave that up to you guys. I personally bit the bullet and spent the $60 and got the one with 2 profiles and whatnot, and it just gave me that user interface so that I can get everything set up the way I wanted to get it set up. Now, if you guys like this content, please hit that subscribe button. Please go ahead and hit that like button as well. If you guys don't, it's okay. Just let me know in the comments below what you think that, you know, we could do to improve stuff like this. And overall, let me know your thoughts on this. Are you guys willing to try an app like this and see how it works for your system? Are you willing to experiment with things like that? It definitely adds a new factor of playing games. So overall, guys, it was really fun making this video. I'm happy to share this kind of stuff with you. And probably in the future, I'll make some more detailed videos on different games and stuff that you can do with them. But there's a few channels out there that are already covering it. It's just kind of hard to find and understand when you don't know it from beginning to end, kind of like what I explained so that it would be easier for you to understand in this video. But anyways, not to ramble off, and sorry for digressing there, but thank you very much for sticking through to the end. And as always, I appreciate you guys. Stay smiling, stay safe during these crazy times, and I will catch you all on my next one. Take care and bye-bye.